Dan, when I was at NBC about creating IT cosmetics. And she did have the high, I can't even do it, my voice is too low, but she had the high squeaky voice a little, but she's really leaning in now in her little podcast with Megyn. She's like, and she's gone next octave up, and the two of them have the...
Megyn Kelly rips into Meghan Markle's polished faca, shredding the recycled tales of oppression, the choreographed sob stories, and the endless pleas for sympathy. Once hailed as a fresh force in the royal family, Megyn now sounds like a broken record of contradictions and complaints. Kelly exposes how the Duchess managed to spin privilege into victimhood, celebrity into discontent, and opportunity into self-caricature, leaving her not empowered, but unraveling as the reluctant headliner of her own collapse.
A bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you watch it. Saw it 24.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, hit the baby mama when I step into the door.
She's
yeah, I'm pregnant,
supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital room, dancing with a big...
Kelly takes one glance at Meghan Markle and catches the stale scent of recycled victimhood wrapped in couture. The luxury label isn't just on her outfit, it's plastered across her entire persona. Kelly wastes no breath dismantling it. Meghan has mastered the art of spinning mediocrity into martyrdom, but for Kelly, it's target practice. The Duchess struts as if she's campaigning for sainthood in the Church of Eternal Suffering, unaware the congregation left ages ago. 1,111.
Meghan does her perfectly curated life thing, but she's allegedly wearing no makeup. Meanwhile, she's got like the perfect blowout, you know, and like she's completely camera ready, except she didn't put eye makeup on. And she also is pretending like she's crying. And we did a zero in, like we zoomed in just to see. There isn't a tear in sight, Dan.
Dan, check this out. What Kelly tears apart most savagely is the carefully polished facade Meghan built for herself. She sold the world on the image of a trailblazer, a womani Tyrian, a fearless voice stifled by a dusty old monarchy. But peel back the gloss and the reality is obvious. She wasn't muted, she was amplified, celebrated, and rocketed to global fame. And yet, somehow, she still managed to cast herself as the victim. Kelly drives the knife into this contradiction, showing how Meghan may be the first person in history to claim she's both oppressed and overexposed all in the same sentence.
Insecure person I have seen in the public eye in a long time. That is why everything had to be perfectly curated. Who the hell picks fucking berries in a white cashmere blouse and white pants? Literally no one on earth does that. And like this garden, which...
Then comes the fairy tale Meghan's favorite rerun. She retells it, reshapes it, and packages it like a binge-worthy Netflix drama. As if the world hasn't already been bludgeoned with it a dozen times. The princess who married into royalty yet insists she endured unthinkable injustice in her gilded palace. Kelly tears into that with relish, pointing out how only Meghan could twist a castle into a cage and a crown into a set of chains. For Kelly, the real suffering isn't Meghan's, it's the audience forced to sit through her endless encore. 1 quintillion, 111 quadrillion, 111 trillion.
Look at this. Where's the tear? There's nothing there. Look, it's an actor's trick. She just keeps wiping and wiping and wiping, so we think she has a heart.
Oh my God, Meghan. She has this really famous thing where she says 1 tap left eye and she can make herself cry on demand. And it's a really good thing to have as an actress. But you're completely right. There were no tears there.
And then there's the ginger sidekick, Hera, whose fall from decorated prince to podcast +1 ranks among the saddest spectacles in modern celebrity culture. Kelly doesn't just zero in on Meghan. She spotlights how Harry got dragged into the undertow of her narrative. Reduced from a respected veteran and beloved royal to little more than a supporting prop in her endless pity tour. In Kelly's framing, Harry doesn't look like a man who broke free from the palace gates. He looks like one shackled inside his own wife's PR machine. 1 quintillion.
She's kind of twerking. She's gonna twerk. Here comes Harry. She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, she circles her genitals around and around. Okay. This is deeply problematic on a number.
What Kelly slices into most viciously is Megyn's obsession with authenticity. She curates it like a museum, exhibit perfect lighting, staged interviews, designer gowns crafted to convince the world she's just like everyone else. Kelly rips the mask off, preaching to working moms while draped in Dior, or describing her humble life from a Montecito mansion big enough to qualify as its own country club. The hypocrisy roasts itself, and Kelly just turns up the heat. Megyn decries the cruelty of media attention while conveniently arranging paparazzi cameos right on schedule. But it's the endless reinvention that Kelly skewers with glee. Megyn, the actress, duchess, victim, feminist, entrepreneur, podcaster, philanthropist and identity for every audience.
She only has on people who she gave money to so they can say how amazing she is.
Yeah, it's like she's her boss. So like Megyn is Hannah Mendoza's boss, effectively. So clearly she's keeping to the script. But there's this really awful moment where Megyn turns into the mean girl that we know she all is, and she
The one constant in Megyn's saga is her hunger for applause. Kelly lays it bare. Megyn has perfected the art of endless self-congratulation while feigning indifference to public opinion. She also slices through Megyn's glossy feminist brand. The Duchess loves to preach about smashing barriers, yet her entire career is built on joining institutions she later vilifies. She married into the monarchy, banked the fame, and trashed it the moment the cheers died down. Megyn wants to be both insider and outsider, critic and beneficiary, victim and conqueror. 2. Kelly. That isn't feminism, it's opportunism draped in couture. Every time Megyn strikes a pose as a champion of women, the activism rings hollow, more photoshoot than principle. Kelly skewers the performance, stripping her feminism down to nothing but a vanity project.
Here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle. We don't like you. And no amount of posting videos that you think are going to humanize you will make us like you. You've already shown us your true colors. We know who you are. You helped kill the Queen. You didn't give two shits about calling the royal family racist while Prince Philip was on his deathbed and casting aspersions on him. You have completely undermined all the amazing gifts that this family has given you as nothing, and suggested that they didn't care you were suicidal and they were the ones who drove you.
No roast is complete without Megyn's greatest hits. The trembling tears, the dramatic pauses, the silences so staged they deserve their own director's credit. Kelly laughs her way through it, showing how Megyn weaponized fragility and turned victimhood into a marketable brand. Minor slights become trauma, frosty stares morph into oppression, and family spats balloon into systemic injustice. Kelly's sharpest cut lands here. Megyn's empire isn't built on overcoming hardship, it's built on monetizing it. And then comes the American dream. Megyn insists she broke from the monarchy to live freely in the US, but Kelly slices through the PR gloss. In Megyn's world, independence means multi-million-dollar contracts with corporations eager to bottle royal gossip. Independence means demanding privacy while selling her story to every outlet with a checkbook. Kelly reduces Megyn's independence to paradia corporate hustle dressed up as empowerment.
Like, we're all supposed to go, Maureen, to make our breakfast in the morning, out to our gardens and pick our berries, our raspberries, our strawberries, our blueberries, our snozberries, and cut our mint, and then cut our flowers that are edible. But don't worry, she's a woman of the people. You can grow those just on your windowsill at home in New York, your edible flowers.
And don't forget your local beekeeper.
Yeah.
Your local beekeeper.
Oh, yeah, because she has a bee hive, which she goes, that's how they open the whole series with her bees. And like, don't worry, if you don't have this, just go to your local beekeeper. Clearly,
Even Megyn's carefully polished relatability crumbles under Kelly's fire. Megyn loves to cast herself as one of the people, expecting viewers to nod from their cramped apartments while she delivers monologues from a Montecito mansion with a private staff. Her biggest crisis, whether her custom gown matched the palace. Mood. Kelly skewers the absurdity, branding Megyn as the most relatable celebrity alive. What makes Kelly's roast devastating is how it strips Megyn of her only real weapon: control of the narrative. Megyn thrives on being framed as misunderstood, persecuted, unfairly judged. Kelly won't let her play that role. The Duchess wasn't silenced. She was spotlighted. She wasn't caged. She was crowned with global opportunity. She could have modernized the monarchy, injected relevance into a fading institution. Instead, she torched the bridges, monetized her victimhood, and fled to California while insisting, with a straight face, that she never cared about the title she continues to sell.
That would really show, the crack in the facade. I have trouble believing that, because she right now wants to maintain the facade and wants us all to believe that it's perfect in Montecito. Welcome to Montecito time, where we have champagne with fruit dollops inside of it at all hours of the day. But anyway, why would she risk that news coming out by actively shopping? It doesn't make sense to me.
Well, she's a deeply manipulative.
Kelly calls it what it is, the biggest missed opportunity in modern celebrity. Not a fall caused by oppression, but by pure self-obsession. At the core of her roast is a blunt reminder: Meghan Markle's story isn't tragic, it's tedious. The reruns, the contrived drama, the endless reinventions, it all collapses into monotony. Meghan isn't a fallen star. She's a broken record. And as Kelly makes clear, the audience tuned out long ago. She also torches Meghan's fixation on Hollywood validation. The irony bites: an actress of modest talent, who once scrambled for roles, suddenly decided she could crown herself Hollywood royalty by marrying into actual royalty. Kelly rips open that desperation, exposing how Meghan's whole career plays like one long audition tape. Only now the stage is global, and the acting hasn't improved. Even the much-hyped Netflix documentary falls flat, reduced to a glossy rerun of the same tired performance.
To People magazine. And in the People magazine article, she says she loves building this safe haven and show with her daughter, and as part of her As Ever brand. And she says, being able to have my own little girl, as I've spent so much of my life championing the rights of girls and women, and to be able to see this as a multi-generational story. Archie is, of course, included in that. My husband is, of course, included in that. But I love the heritage feeling of it, and knowing this is something that I can create in front of my daughter and teach her what it's like to be a working mom. This is not what it's like.
Kelly rips Meghan's inside look as nothing more than a glossy reel of grievances, reality TV without the self-awareness. The podcast, supposedly groundbreaking, it flopped into ego-driven therapy sessions until even Spotify walked away. The Stateswoman Act. All photo ops and platitudes, no substance. And the Silicon Valley rebrand. Just another shiny package with nothing inside. 1,111 quadrillion.
Between her and most people who may be somewhat warm towards the royal family, even if we're not big on royalty. She's reportedly bullied virtually everybody who's ever worked for her. She can't keep a staff in London. She can't keep a staff in Montecito. She's a bully. She's obsessed with her own ego, face on television, etc., and playing the victim. So no amount of humanizing videos, even if she managed to find one, are going to work.
From vague lifestyle brands to empty wellness slogans, Meghan keeps trying to play Gwyneth Paltrow, but Kelly shows why nothing sticks. Meghan's brand isn't substance, it's self-promotion. Even her rumored projects land like PR stunts, loud on launch, forgotten by morning. Kelly's harshest cut hits Meghan's refusal to own failure. Every flop is someone else's fault: the palace, the press, racism, misogyny. Meghan never stumbles. She's always pushed. Never alienates, only misunderstood. Kelly leaves it with one defining question: will Meghan be remembered as a reformer silenced by tradition, or as the Duchess who cried victim, cashed in, and wasted the chance of a lifetime? For Kelly, the answer is obvious. Headlines fade. Substance lasts. And that's the one thing Meghan never